Hello there, Oliver here from the Earful Tower podcast. We're diving into the archives for a classic episode today. So classic that someone brought it up with me out of the clear blue sky yesterday. And it's the cheese one. The cheese one, the American man who cut some cheese and divided a community. Starts with a limerick, continues with the voice of some cheese experts, some Earful Tower listeners tune in, and then we get Will Weaver himself explaining what went wrong. So this is from the archives. It's C is for cheese. Last time I did the alphabet season, C was for something else, but I prefer C is for cheese. So you get to hear that today. Earlier in the week, I hope you listened already to the real new episode for the week, which was C is for Carnevale, my story, my personal story of being inside my favorite museum before it was open to the public. But today, it's cheese. A huge shout out to the Earful Tower members on Patreon and Substack who keep this going. You can find links in the show notes. Enjoy this classic episode from the past. Here we go. There once was a young man from Texas. We've a mutual friend that connects us. And this Texan said, "Please, let me cut the cheese." And the dinner became a dog's breakfast. This, Earful Tower listeners, is a very unusual podcast episode. If you follow on social media, you probably already have an idea where this is going. If you're not, you're missing out. The Earful Tower, Instagram, Facebook, everything. The idea is, I was at a dinner party the other night. Bunch of people, no French people, a bunch of expats, foreigners, whatever you want to call us, sitting around. Dinner was lovely. A cheese platter was served. And one of the guests, who was American, got his knife and cut into the Comté cheese in a fashion that raised eyebrows at the table. I was motivated to get my phone out and take a picture of this cheese. On reflection, after a little bit of reflection, I was motivated to share this picture with the Earful Tower community on social media, and that prompted nothing short of a tempest of comments. Hundreds and hundreds of comments with opinions. And now, in the interest of being totally fair, I'm going to present every side of this story, including from the culprit himself, from cheese experts, and from some fun social media comments as well. But in short, this is the cheese massacre that divided a community, and I'm excited to share it with you. My name's Oliver G. This is the Earful Tower, and let's do it. Okay, so you guys already have the gist of this conversation. Before we meet some of the characters, I want to just share exactly what I put on social media, and I want to comment on it myself, because it really riled up a lot of people. I shared the picture. I highly encourage you to go and look at this first, but if you don't have access, I'll explain it. It was a close-up of a Comté cheese. Now, Comté cheese is about the size of a big hand, let's say. Same thickness of your hand lying flat on the table. And then the way you're meant to cut it is in long, thin lines. In this picture, there's a messy knife next to this Comté cheese with what looks like, it looks like a chicken has attacked it or something. A vertical instead of a horizontal cut taken out of the right-hand side. To make matters worse, there's a very sort of wet brie cheese off to the left in this picture. It does look like a crime scene. And I shared it on social media. I was looking for a reaction, I'll be honest, but I wrote, "At a dinner party with someone who's just moved to Paris. This is the Comté cheese after he took some. Is his cheese cutting A, no big deal, it's just cheese, B, forgivable Comté carelessness, C, an atrocity to all of France, or D, something else?" Now, before we get into the responses, I want to explain what I did there. I purposely didn't call him out. I didn't say where he was from. I didn't even say if it was a he or a she. I certainly didn't say he was American or Texan. We'll get into that in a second. I just put it out there wondering if it would get a response, and it did. Like I said, hundreds of comments came in. I read them all. And what I figured would be kind of fun is instead of me giving you a little sort of glimpse into the comments and the outrage that came with this, is I figured I'd ask some Earful Tower VIPs to lend their voices. So here's a glance at some of the more outraged responses.
There are things in this world that are just wrong. This is a perfect example.
I'm glad he doesn't practice surgery.
Some people go to jail for less than that.
This is an insult to cheese.
It's an atrocity everywhere. Seriously?
This is the result of trying to hold his knife with his foot.
Hopefully he has been sufficiently shamed out of making that mistake again.
Whoa, first really good acting there. They're the voices of some of the people who've been helping mail out our books, some VIPs there. Good actors and actresses there. So I'm seeing these comments come in, and as you're probably reacting at home, you probably agree with me that they're quite rough, quite tough, quite severe. I mean, I called for it. I think there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek going on. But also, this prompted people to come to the defense of the gentleman and sort of to go on the attack against me. Here are some of those comments.
Not everyone knows the rules of cheese. Let them be, man.
This is probably just due to the eagerness of having such a delicious cheese.
Then there were some people who, quite rightly, had a bit of a dig at me, saying, which I shared in some of the early episodes of this podcast and in my book, Paris on Air, I shared the story of how I was too frightened to go into cheese shops because there was so much going on. So we got some comments sort of saying, easy, Oliver, easy. But I want to explain why I shared it as well, is when this happened, and then we're going to get into how you're mentored to it and sort of the repercussions of everything in France and the morals and whatever. But when it happened, my first reaction was actually to laugh and to talk and to explain. And then the guests were laughing too all together. And we used it as an opportunity to sort of empathize with each other on the difficulties of moving to a foreign country as a stranger in a strange land. So there was no malice from my part. And once it went out there on social media, I contacted gentleman in question who you'll meet soon. And I said, I just want to apologize if you think I sold you out here. But he laughed it off immediately and said, he said I was a coward for not sharing who he was and where he was from. He's quite a character. More on him in a second. So I'm sitting and I'm thinking, all these comments, people also, I think some people were confused by which was the massacre, because the brie to the left of the picture also really looks like a dog's breakfast, as some people have pointed out. But we're focusing on the Comté on the right. And I thought, who am I to be the expert? The real experts are obviously cheesemongers. So what I did is I took this photo and I went down to my local cheese shop, which is called Griffon in the 7th arrondissement, a beautiful little cheese shop where they always take the time to explain whatever you need or what you're looking for and so on. And I said to them, would you guys like to be on this podcast? I'm going to show you a picture and I want you to react to it. And their first response was, can we see the picture first? I said, no, I want to press record and hear your honest reaction. So that set the scene. Here's what happened when I started recording and got ready to show the picture to the staff at Griffon Fromagerie in Paris. Okay. So here's the cheese. It's the Comté. And I want your honest reaction to this cut. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh la la.
Oh, what happened?
Okay.
What happened?
An accident?
You think it's
He
bad?
broke it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
really
bad.
Well, why is it so bad?
Because you don't cut it like this.
Yes.
For a Comté, you cut it like this for a mimolette or a gouda, for example,
He just
but not
broke
for
the
this.
cheese.
Yeah. Very bad. Boo.
Do you think because he's new to Paris, it's okay? Or do you
I think the person are not French at all.
No, they're not. It's an American
Oh,
person.
American. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But it's
Yeah, that's
not.
right.
It's not logical.
It's not logical.
I just can't understand how.
Ouais,
you
cut
cook
it.
Yeah.
So here's a question. If this happened at a dinner party where you were,
Yes.
would you be offended, upset, disappointed, angry?
All of them. All of them. In
All of
France,
them.
yeah, it never happened, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I will try to explain how to do it.
How to cut
Yeah.
proper cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think maybe the host, the person who had the dinner party, should have led the way and began by showing how to do it?
Yes.
Maybe it's their fault.
We used to cook before 2 or 3 pieces,
Yeah.
so the other one can see how.
Yeah,
how to
exactly.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Normally, you just cut a slice first, and then all the guests are doing it
The same.
The
in the
same
same
way.
way.
While we're standing here, what do you think about the rest of the picture?
Oh la vache.
Oh la vache!
Un carnage. A mass murder.
It could be my son.
How old is your son?
1 year and a half.
Oh my goodness me. Okay.
He looks like the same when he eats cheese.
Okay.
He just come and pick some pieces.
Okay. So any tips? Do you have any tips for people listening, not just Americans, but people around the world who go to a French dinner party and they're a bit scared to touch the cheese? What's your advice to them?
You should
Follow a French person.
exactly. You should
And just ask.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask.
And the French love to explain.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't take the first step.
No,
Wait.
just
and
ask.
follow.
Yeah.
If you are invited, you just look at the person near to you and ask to do it first, because you are a beginner, you don't know how to do it. And so,
And in terms of this Comté, can you tell how old it is from the picture?
Maybe 18 months age.
Okay.
ouais, regarde la croûte, je me dirais
non,
même
c'est plus vieux.
peut-être un peu plus.
24.
24?
Okay, so we have an old Comté here. Should they have cut it like this, long ways?
Or
What-
like this, or...
Okay.
yes.
So long, thin strips, essentially.
Yeah.
And do you eat the outside usually as well?
Not the wine.
No. The other one,
I do it,
yes,
but not all
but
of us
Comté
do it.
is not. Yes, you used to eat, but you don't need to eat.
Okay, okay,
For a lot of cheese, you need to eat
The
because you have the taste.
okay.
But with Comté, no.
No, because the wheel is too big. It's maybe for a whole wheel, it's maybe 40 kilos, and so you roll it on the floor. So it's
Okay, so really, maybe we should. You can't really wash it, can you? You just gotta.
No.
no, you're not.
I mean, we are not dead, and we used to do it before.
But now we
You
saw
used to
it.
eat it. Okay.
I
So
still
now,
doing it.
yeah.
I still doing it.
So what you're saying is you've seen them wheeling them along the ground, and now
Because
you
it's
don't
too
want.
heavy, so that's why.
Okay, well I'm learning a lot too, so I'll have to say thank you very much for your time. What's everybody's name?
Elodie,
Marine.
Lou.
Merci beaucoup tout le monde.
thank you. Merci.
So after that exchange with those lovely ladies down at Griffon, I asked her to show me exactly how to cut a Comté cheese. And if you're interested, I'm going to share that video on social media as well. But to spell it out, if you got that long, I said it was the shape of a hand. Imagine like a perfectly rectangular hand. Imagine it is your hand, looking at your hand flat in front of you now. You cut where your fingertips are, and then you cut where your knuckles are, and then you cut where your next knuckles are, always about 1 centimeter, all the way until you're about halfway through. So imagine you cut all the way down to your knuckles, and then on the palm of your hand or the back of your hand, you do it in a sort of triangular shape around the edges. Once again, if you don't understand my hand analogy there, look on social media. I also had the idea to get a special gift for the next man who you're about to meet, who I can reveal. His name is Will Weaver. He is a basketball coach. He's the head coach of Paris Basket, or Paris Basket, a local team that plays in the 13th arrondissement. I'm going to go watch a game soon. He has a coaching career around the world, including the NBA and in Australia. He is the Texan guest with the knife, or machete, you might say. And he's new to Paris, so he's been here for 3 months. I texted him after meeting him at this dinner party. I said, let's meet up for a drink. I'll bring my microphone and we can talk through this whole thing. Funnily enough, in the whole vibe of the stranger in a strange land thing, He said, a text to me, the nearest bar to me is called Le Bristol. Let's meet there. And when I arrived, I realized it is the swanky, fancy, probably 5-star hotel in the 8th arrondissement, which we sort of joked about that, he said that he'd got it wrong once again. He was just picking a random bar, but we ended up at one of the more fancy ones in town. But I can recommend it. It was very lovely. So we went into the bar, sat down in a quiet place, and tried to get to the bottom of all this cheesy business. Sitting here with Will Weaver. How are you, Will?
Could not be better.
Now, I need to know why you chose Le Bristol.
I have to, as our conversation will show, claim ignorance about any watering holes that would welcome a disgusting American and his Australian friend.
Hang on. No, you don't need to say disgusting here, just because of the cheese.
I'm a bit defensive, it's true. I felt the rage of a community swirl around me.
Well, let's talk about the community comments, because you've read them. No, let's rewind a little bit. There are a bunch of people, no French people, I think, sitting at the table, at least no born-in French people. Someone puts the cheese on the table, no big deal.
We bought the cheese.
Yeah, I was going to bring
that
up.
We brought the cheese, yeah.
Which you did exceptionally well. Like, it was like 6
My
different
wife
types.
picked it.
She did exceptionally well. 6 different types of cheeses. Everyone was impressed. You saw an 18-month, I think it was 18-month Comté there. Never thinking that what you did would prompt hundreds and hundreds of comments online. Walk me through your... let's set the scene for the people.
Yeah, sure. Well, you have to, I think, first even wind it further back. As a Texan, we've done abominable things to cheese for generations, right? Queso, right? It's not fondue. You've got Velveeta mixed in with Rotel tomato sauce to watch your favorite sporting event. And so I'm no stranger to cheese being exploited.
Do you mean, do you respect cheese?
I have to admit that I don't have a healthy respect for cheese, and it's only been in the last couple months where I've begun to appreciate where cheese fits into the pantheon of deities here in France. Yeah. And so having to pick the cheese for a dinner party was intimidating to the extent that I pawned it off on my lovely wife, Lauren.
Yeah, right. Okay, but she picked them, you came, put it on the table, you're sitting there, you got a knife.
Sure. It's in the middle.
Yeah.
I use my freakishly long, skinny arms to get over there and get to it. Conversation's buzzing. I whack at a segment.
Hack at it.
Use my machete to peel it back off and stick it in the mouth. And it wasn't long after that I saw the flash of your camera phone.
Was it me that reacted?
Was it you?
Was it?
Naturally, please.
Okay, so I reacted. Did you, in all seriousness, were you like, he's overreacting a bit?
I think anytime you move to a new country and are part of a new culture, I certainly have I'm quick to apologize and recognize, I'm a stranger in a strange land. And so I've lived in your home country and count that as one of my favorite experiences. Our family moving to France is just a sequence of never-ending guffaws that one of us needs to apologize for, and je suis américain, désolé, pardon. And so, no, I listened, and I was grateful that you explained it in the way that you did. It was obvious that you had a lot of compassion, having moved here not that long ago, to kind of culturalize, and then we had a laugh about it.
That's good. I'm glad that you said that. I didn't make Will say that, because most of the comments were coming after you, I must say. Some were coming after me as well, saying, "Why'd you hang him out to dry?"
Yeah, you're not blameless. It should be noted you didn't ask for any permission
to take the picture or to share it.
Either one.
Yeah,
which I love.
Yeah.
I think it's a funny moment to try to
capitalize on.
For your budding, podcast empire. I respect it.
Well, so what went through my head is this is France and cheese there's a strong thing going on there, and I know that people react to these kind of stories, and I was like, there's something in this that needs to be shared further, and it was. Did you read through many of the comments?
My wife shared a selection.
What did she think?
She couldn't stop laughing. She thought it was great.
Yeah, some people went really all in on. it was interesting. Some people really went in on that, and a lot of it was said with humor, obviously, but went in on saying how uncultured you were. The Frenchman, I clicked on his name, said that this was like the equivalent of a declaration of war on France. Other people had this.
That doesn't seem like hyperbole. No, but I think truthfully, and I'm clearly not an expert in any of these topics, but the chance to engage with things people care a lot about is a lot of what sort of the thesis of moving to another country is for my family. Yeah. And having a chance to reorient your perspective towards things that never would have occurred to you is part and parcel of what's really kind of at the heart of my pride of my son living on his third continent before he turned 4 years old.
Amazing.
So I'm no one will ever accuse me of being de Tocqueville, but I have a real gratitude for the chance to get to be exposed to novel things and to be around people that can help you learn, okay, here is why that would be offensive to someone in France. Sure. And as our first dinner party while we were in France.
That was your first dinner party as well?
We have a 4-year-old. We don't get out much. Yeah.
I know the feeling.
And I coach basketball. So those two things in concert mean that most of my evenings are tied up.
Well, let's talk about that perspective in a second. But I also want to tell you, I had this idea. The listeners have already heard this. But I went into a cheese shop, fromagerie. The same that maybe you feared to go in. The same in my early days here, I feared going in them as well. And I recorded their reaction showing them the picture because I was wondering if the people who follow my page maybe are all just Francophiles and not so many French people, you know. So I wanted to see the reaction of French cheesemongers.
And
when I held it up to them, they started. The first thing one of them said was "Oh la la." One of them said "Oh la vache," which means holy cow, yeah. Right? Which is a kind of almost cheese thing, which I thought was kind of funny. And then they used words like carnage, mass murder, I think. And one said that their 1-year-old son would do a similar thing to a cheese. What's your reaction to that?
Fair, and fair.
Okay, so there you go. We got the reaction. We got your reaction and the cheesemonger's reaction and the reaction of hundreds of people out there. But that perspective thing is an interesting thing to touch on because I think that's kind of the moral of the story. You said it really well, coming to another country and learning and understanding. I'm interested. You're doing what a lot of the listeners to this podcast maybe want to do, spend considerable time here, maybe move here. As a fairly newbie, someone who's been here 3 months, is it?
That's right, August.
What's your advice so far to other people about this kind of diving in the deep end, maybe treading on people's toes, you know, understanding the culture before you plunge in? Do you have any advice for people?
Not good advice, clearly.
Any advice for
this? I think, truthfully, bring the right people. Yeah, like it's the same advice that works almost as well as the inverse doesn't. So if you bring the wrong folks with you, folks that aren't willing to go to the fromagerie when you're a little intimidated to, like Lauren was, and you know, people that are willing to invite you to meet their other friends who have some empathy for you, that have been here long enough to paint a positive picture, like Tom, our mutual friend, invited all of us to come to the thing.
He's a friend of the show, we can say it, Tom Clark.
There you go. Legendary cafe mogul.
Oh, let's not go too far.
That's the only way it works, and at least as far as I can tell. And we don't know how long we're going to have in France because we've got weird jobs and weird lives that we've built for ourselves, but the time we have will mostly be I think remembered because of the funny incidents like this that fill up your Instagram roll or your diary or your memories or beers on down the line.
It's funny that you say that because that's kind of how I've been living my life here as well. I think it's the faux pas, the mistakes that you make that not only give you great stories to share with people back home or on your book or podcast or whatever, but it also...
Or book tour, don't be modest.
But it allows you to really see more of the... Like if you just stand on the sidelines all the time, you miss out on a lot. There you go, there's a basketball reference for you.
Brilliant. So, with the faux pas mixed in.
So I want to, I'm glad I remembered, I want to end this with, I brought something for you. And I want you to open it. I realize it's properly wrapped up.
Yeah.
I want you to open it while we're rolling.
Sure.
It's from the the ladies at Griffon, the fromagerie. And I want you to open it because it's a bit special.
Look at this. It is...
And let me explain it to you. Flip it over. So this is...
Did they draw?
If you hold it up in the right light... Okay. Do you see this? She got the knife out and indented.
She told me where to cut.
So for everyone at home...
She's the best.
Who can't see, it's about 1 centimeter or half an inch. All the way down, you see all the way. And then when you get to this point where it gets thicker, do you see she's done like a
cross pattern?
Yeah. So there's the training wheels for you when you go home with your wife to practice eating a Comté cheese. Also, cut the rinds off.
This, I think there's some debate about that. This is emblematic of the real welcome behind some of the sort of theater, and I'm very grateful for the ladies at Griffon Fromagerie. We will be there soon.
I'm glad to hear it. Thanks for being on the show.
Cheers.
So there you have it. Will Weaver himself learning the way of Paris and France, much as we all do when we're here. I think in terms of a moral to the story that we've learned from this basketball coach in Paris and everything that followed is it's easy to commit some kind of foul play when it comes to things, especially that are very near to Parisians and French people's heart, like cheese or pastry or wine or whatever. It's easy to get it wrong. And I mean, in other words, it's not a slam dunk, is it? The way that you're meant to do it. But if it can promote a conversation about how to do it, if it can bring people closer together, if you might get a fantastic story out of it that you tell for the rest of your life, I personally say go ahead and cut the cheese and see what happens. But if you want to sit back and take it a bit easier, just watch, just ask. People love to explain this stuff, and but honestly, you can't really set a foot wrong unless you have a friend who is a podcaster looking for stories. Don't cut the cheese in front of him, probably, or her. Anyway, that was this week's episode of the Earful Tower. I really enjoyed doing it. That'll do for me. You've been listening to the Earful Tower. My name is Oliver G. Thanks to everybody who sends comments, emails, reviews, especially. You guys are the MVPs. Also, this one I think can be dedicated to everybody who dares in France, whether that's cutting the cheese, choosing the wine, pouring the wine, or initiating a conversation. Who dares wins, guys. Keep it up. I'll see you again next week. Merci. Au revoir.